Thank you everyone so much for coming. It's Friday. Friday the what? Friday the 18th. Welcome to Free Friday trainings. Today we're going to talk about interactive websites. And we're going to go through 7 or 8 things that make your website interactive and why you should do that. And I'm not saying you should do all of them. You might institute one at a time, but it's a great way so that people stay on your site a little longer. So there's some assumptions I'm making about your website before we get started. The first is that your website is indexed at Google. It has its analytic code. It is on Google My Business. It has a robots.txt, so Google knows where it is, and it's been crawled. I'm also assuming that all of your tracking codes, meaning Facebook, I already mentioned Google Analytics, LinkedIn, are all in the back end, so that if you're doing any marketing or advertising, you capture the information coming to your site, and that you have taken the time to address keywords and meta tags that are all correct. So the back end is they're ready for the data to be captured when people are on your site. So those are assumptions that I am making. So we all know this: when the same old thinking gets us the same old results. And I do it, everyone does it, but we've always done it that way, or it's just easier because we don't want to change. But the deal is if you want some different results, you have to try some different things. So what is an interactive website? So the first type of interactive website I would think about is, of course, my favorite, Amazon, where I spend half of my time when a little Amazon smile truck pulls up and they go to someone else's house. I'm always disappointed. It's like Christmas all the time. My husband will say, "They're here again. What did you order?" And it'll be for him, which then that makes me very happy because he's not yelling at me. But we want to invoke engagement and action, and that's what an Amazon site does, or a shopping site does, because when you're there, you're looking for something, you're taking actions, you're interacting with the site. Whether you're frustrated or not because you can find what you're looking for is another discussion. But we need to make sure that the user is actively engaged in the content that's on our site, that it's not just a static brochure. We need to have communication back and forth because, especially over the last 18, 24 months, the interactions we have been online. So we need to make sure our website is available for an interaction. So what does that mean for you when you have an interactive website? Well, interactive websites can increase conversions. Conversions are when you get someone to do something and you get their email address, or they've made a purchase or something. That's a conversion. And that's what we're all here for. We want to convert passive visitors to customers. And we want those visitors to our site to have a positive experience when they're there. Because if you send them to your site and they can't find something in 2 to 3 clicks, they're not going to come back because it's just frustrating. Or if they're not going to interact or do something, they're going to get frustrated. You need to engage them. You need to give them something to click on, something to download, something to do when they're there, to get the information that they're looking for, or more information to them. Also, when you have an interactive website, you tend to pay a little more attention to it and update it. So maybe you put a video on, but the video is dated. So now you want to add a fresh video, so you go and add a new video. So that keeps content new. Keeping content fresh increases visitors staying longer because they're looking at that new content. And it also means the crawlers find new content on your website, and that's a positive thing for them because they think the website is fresh and new. We want to make sure that when I come to your site, I have a personalized experience. And all of these things that you put on should complement your business goals, not just do them to do them, but what is the goal of making that piece interactive? And we'll talk about that. So here are 8 ways to add interaction to your website, and I'm sure you've heard all of them. They're all really calls to action. I just put social media as an overarching thing, and we will talk about that. You can do polls or quizzes. You can have a discussion, a forum, or a bulletin board. You can interact with feedbacks and ratings on your site. We've all gotten used to online chat. I'm not a big fan of AI in online chat. I hate getting caught in a loop that doesn't answer my question. Videos are a big interaction. People love to watch videos. Having an FAQ page, because people, you know what they are. You can write down the top 10 things people ask you to make that. And then offering some type of download on a sign-up form to get an email address to run an AR series. All of these things add interaction to your website. So let's talk about them. We'll talk about the big one first. Is your site integrated with your social media? And I don't think that means just having a link to your social media. You need to, in some way, highlight that social media if it's vibrant to your site. So with YouTube, you're pulling in those videos. There's links to it, to the playlists on YouTube. You're using YouTube to the biggest advantage you can because YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. And it you can put keywords and descriptions, and all of that helps your SEO, which is search engine optimization. If you have a blog on your website, it should just be another tab, not named blog or anything. Mine is named resources. That you always put fresh content on. You either use it to write an article that you push to with email marketing, or you insert a video on there to talk about something that's going on. Always new content on your website. LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of those in some way, whatever one you use, and you keep it fresh and you keep it interactive, you can pull into your website, whether it's by a feed, whether it's by pictures, or whether it's a page about your Instagram account. But you need to not just put a link and assume people are going to go to it. You need to show them why they need to go to it. Let them know that there's content there that may benefit them. So it's not just putting a logo on and saying, here's my social media. Why do I want to go to that social media? If you're talking about, do a page that talks about your Pinterest and pull a Pinterest feed in or a Instagram feed in so they see it and then they go to that and maybe they'll join. You need to interact with them and show them what you're doing. Certainly don't put a feed on that your last post was from 2 years ago. That's not going to be helpful. That's not going to show them anything except, yeah, it's there, I put it on, but I'm not maintaining it. So I'm going to stop for a second after each of my topics, David, and see if anyone has a question about them.
So as of yet, we don't have any questions.
Okay. So only so that we can talk about each. Please feel free to type a question into the chat for David, and he will read it to me.
Yep, I added that to the chat. So
okay, thank you. Okay, polls and quizzes. So if you're going to do some type of poll or quiz on your site, it needs to benefit them. What are they getting out of it? Know what your goal is, both for you and for the site visitor. You want to keep it simple and short. You certainly don't want to put a survey in to find something out and tell them it's a 5-minute survey and it's 20 questions long. You want to make it very easy. Yes, no, maybe. You can do pictures. People are good. You can see the two different types here, whether they have to pick one of these or they pick pictures. A picture is much more interactive. You can use a plugin or a service to do this, and you can get feedback. And if someone does fill out your poll or quizzes, you want to reward them, whatever it is, whether you get their email address and you say thank you and you send them something. But that's what you need to do. The purpose of the poll and the quiz is to have them interact. You know, I'll use a bad example of when you're on Facebook and there's all those polls and quizzes, you know, to get your favorite color in that. And you all know that they're trying to steal information about you to get usernames and passwords. So that's not what the poll or quiz is here. We want to make sure that we're asking them questions to give them an answer. So let's say they come to my site, and this is just a suggestion and it's not there. Don't think you can go there and find it. You want to know if your cybersecurity, what you should do on your personal laptop. And maybe there's a 3 or 4 or 5 question poll, and then it's going to give you an answer to what the best thing is. So now I've told them, they've told me what they do, and I'm going to give them an answer. This is what they should do. And again, it's a plugin or a service that you put on your site. so that you can then interact with those people. And they get something out of it, and you get something out of it. I guess the one thing we're exchanging here is they're giving us either their email or information about them to help with our profile for our customer, and they're getting information back for free. It's not really free. They've given us their email address. But, excuse me, putting a poll or quiz, and I'm sure you've all used a poll or quiz on an email. Again, keep it really simple. We would like to know everything about them, but really let's just get the basic information and start a relationship. And that's what this is for. It's an interactive piece. Any questions about polls and quizzes?
None yet.
Okay. It's going to be a quiet Friday. So discussions, forums, or bulletin boards. Now, these aren't for everyone. These are very specific. The same things apply. Know your goal, keep it simple and short, use a service, reward your visitor for joining, be responsive. You can't put up a discussion, a forum, or a bulletin board and not know that you have to maintain it every day to build your community, because this really is a community building piece where if you want to build a community, maybe you have a membership site, maybe you want to build this community so that you're working towards something very specific to launch. But you need to remember, if you're going to do this and this model fits you, you have to be responsive. You can't just set it out there and let it be. Someone has to maintain it every single day. It's work, but it can build a community. And so figure out what you want to achieve. If you need to build a community on your shared interests to promote your business, and go from there. They're great to get other people's opinions, but again, you need to manage them. You need to be responsive, and then you need to look for the negative pieces too. If people are having a discussion and someone gets out of hand, you have to be able to handle that. Always on a positive note, or maybe sometimes someone isn't positive and you have to take them out of the community and take it offline. But this is a great way to build a community and build raving fans for your business if your business model, it works for your business model. So discussions forum or bulletin boards, is anyone out there thinking this morning? No questions so far?
None.
Okay. Feedback, reviews, and ratings. So let's define what these are. A rating is a scale of 1 to 4 or 1 to 5. People rate you. We all know about that. A review is when someone writes about it, not just gives you your rating, but writes about it. And feedback is when people provide an opinion or assessment of how someone or something is doing. So you need to remember the proper way to ask for the feedback. Use again, these are all plugins that can go into a WordPress site that you can put in. This one right here, Repusto, weirdest name ever. It goes out, you put in Facebook, Google My Business, all the different Yelp, all those different things. And what it does is it goes out and pulls them in and pops them up. You've all seen this in the bottom, either right or left-hand corner of your website. And it automatically approves anything that's 4 or 5 stars. Anything that's less than that, you can go look at and decide whether you want to put on or not. I would say you need to be authentic and not just put 4 or 5 stars, but maybe put a 3-star one on there. And it's a great way for people to see what other people are saying for you. But if you do that, one of the things you want to do is you want to make sure you're asking people for these reviews. So know why you're asking your customer for feedback. When you ask a question, use open-ended questions, not just yes or no questions. Ask the right person the right questions, and always thank people for doing any type of review or feedback for you. And again, it's an interaction. One of the ways you might do it is once you've finished a project or sold something, if it's a product, ask them to rate it. I can't tell you, I hate all the emails I get from Amazon on rating it. I keep shutting it off. And when they update the thing on my phone, they put it back in. But you need to be thoughtful, but you do need to garnish these ratings because they do make a difference for you. And you can pull them in with a bunch of different ones. This one is one you have to pay for, but I really like the way it pops up and keeps running through them. And you can also do a couple different things. You can put a carousel on your site. You can put them on different pages in different ways. So it shows it to the clients or the site visitors that people are happy with your service. Feedback, reviews, and ratings. Questions?
Nope.
Online chat boxes. So I like online chat boxes, and I also hate online chat boxes. So we have one. It's welcomes you. I put this together as an AI piece to show you. It asks them what their name is. It asks them for their email address. And it says, if you need immediate assistance, please call. So this is an example of AI. If anyone clicks on it, we capture their name and email address. I am very frustrated by some of the smarter AI ones because, and you can see this is an older one, it has my older logo on it. If I'm going to click on a chat box, I either want to know they're there to answer me or I need to leave an email, because I don't need to go through the steps of their AI and keep going in the same loop and getting stuck getting the same answer because it doesn't know what I want. And that's frustrating to me. The whole point of a chat box is so that I can either talk to someone or have someone get back to me. By show of hands, how many people have got stuck in a loop with a chat box and got frustrated?
Not seeing anybody raise their hand.
Okay. Anyway, but I also like chat boxes. It's how you configure it. There's a free plugin called Talk2 that you can add to your website or have your website developer add it, that you can tell that you're available from 9 to 5. You can put it on your phone, so no matter where you are, you can answer it, or you can have one of your employees at their desk just turn it on in the morning and then answer anything. It's not like you're going to get a million things in a chat box. It's just another way for you to offer interaction on your site. So if I'm there and I have a question, I can type it in and get an immediate answer. And everyone likes immediate gratification. So we want to offer that. So be careful about getting caught here in this whole AI piece, because it's really cool to do, but think about the person on the other end and if they're going to get frustrated or if they're going to get what they need. Okay, questions about online chat boxes?
You're striking out. None yet.
Okay. So then we go to videos. So videos is about selling and telling a story that you can share. These are 3 videos that I just pulled off of my website, and I'm going to show you the story one. This one down here is an interview that I did. This one is a Free Friday training. Everyone comes for a different reason. All your videos don't need the same. You need to create a playlist on YouTube. You need to do your keywords on it. It gives people a way to know you and who you are, what your product or service is, and they can do it at their leisure. One of the things I will say is be careful of how you pull them in, because you don't want at the end of the video for all of the ads from YouTube to pop up. There's a plugin that takes care of that. You want them to watch your video and stay on your site. So I am going to stop sharing for a minute. And I am going to play this video. David, you'll let me know.
Seeing the video. Got it.
I haven't still. I can hear it. You can hear it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen again. So what that did, that we would call that an explainer video. I'm going to share. And those are actually very easy to do. You can buy a package that lets you put in all of your text into all of the pieces and change the colors. You can see it's an older one of my videos. It's got the old branding on it, but it's still a functional video. And so you can have multiple types of videos on your site that you can promote out. You can pull them into your Facebook feed, onto your Pinterest. I don't know if they'll go on Pinterest or not. How big of the videos can go on Instagram, David?
Instagram is, well, it depends on if you're talking about the TV, because that can go up to 30 minutes. But the
Okay.
shorter videos are like 60 seconds.
Okay. So that one's too long. That one's about 2 minutes. But you could certainly make a shorter one to go on there. You put it on YouTube, you do all your keywords and SEO on it, and then you pull it onto your other ones. So videos are a great way for people to watch something, for you to interact with them and capture their attention and get your point across. And it's something they may or may not. Now here, when I did the Keys to Digital Marketing Success, Emily was from Yelp. So we did an interview and we did it live, and then we edited and put it up on YouTube. And then all of my trainings for Friday videos are recorded, and then I download them and put them up on my YouTube channel for people to watch later. So videos can be used in a bunch of different ways and last a long time. So videos are a great way to make your site interactive. Any questions about videos?
Nope, none yet.
Okay, it's quiet morning. That's great. FAQs. Everyone knows what FAQ pages are, and anyone can have them. You can write down the top 10 questions or the top 5 questions if 10 is too much for you on what people need to know, right? Or what you're asked by your clients. Just keep a pad of paper on your desk for a week and write down the questions that you're asked. People can go there and click on them and look at the FAQs. You can, and I wouldn't overwhelm FAQs. If you have categories, maybe give some tabs. People can go there and find what they're looking for, or that gives them an answer or a way to find something. Also, this down here, this piece, oh, I shouldn't click. Right here, this piece right here, Google will go out and they'll find answers. So you know when you go to Google and you put in a question, sometimes an answer comes up on how to do something. If you have FAQs that have step-by-steps, it could pull it into Google because you're answering a question. You just need to make sure that you have all the keywords there so that Google can find it. FAQs are very powerful and they're very easy to do. And you have FAQs. Everyone has FAQs. What are your frequently asked questions? Then we have downloads that start with sign-up forms that go to an AR series, which is an autoresponder series. This is very important because you want to collect email addresses wherever you can. You know, we used to be able to go to meetings and exchange business cards. We get to do that again very soon. But you should still have this on your site, and it doesn't have to be everywhere. One of the things I offer is a free digital assessment to anyone who wants it. If they fill out the form, within 3 to 5 business days, they get a complete digital assessment emailed to them that they can ask me questions about. We can have a 30-minute meeting. They can just say, okay, and go on. But I'm providing something for them at no cost to them except exchanging their email address. So this is a great tool to offer something that's beneficial to your clientele. So this is a sign-up form on the right here that I just pulled off the web where they're saying free tips for success. So they want your name and your email address. When you click Get Instant Tips, it drops them onto a list, and then they're emailed that book. They're called ebooks if you put them up. We want to make sure that we're exchanging something that's of purpose to them so they share their email address. Because once you get email address, you're in direct connection with that person, and you can start marketing to them on a regular basis. So we want to be careful about this because we really want to offer something that's free. We don't want to offer something that's not of value to them, that we're blatantly selling to them, and we want to make sure what we give them is of quality that they get something out of. So what is an autoresponder series? Really, it's just a series of emails that you've set up. You have to do the work up front. So they sign up on the sign up form to get, they're signed up, they're dropped on a list. This says welcome email. I just chose this. But this email that goes out then gives them what they're looking for, the asset that they're looking for. I usually do two things when I do an autoresponder. Not only do I send an email out immediately, I will send them to a page that has the asset. So they don't have to wait for the email to come in and go look at their email. If I'm offering an ebook or a PDF or something, once they've signed up, it takes them to the page so they can see it and download it. I also send the email, so they've got it in two different things. Then once you have this, then you now can have multiple emails to follow up. So let's say they wanted the digital assessment. So they immediately get an email that says, you'll get, thank you for signing up for a digital assessment. You'll get it in 3 to 5 days, blah, blah, blah. Then when I have sent their digital assessment, I drop them onto a series that goes for maybe 3 emails. And I tell them that, talking about the digital assessment and what they should look at in their digital assessment if we have not already had a conversation. And the very last one, and like I said, I only do 3 and I do them once a week because I don't want to overburden anyone. There's nothing worse than putting your email in to get something and you get an email every single day that you don't need. You want to start a relationship, not bombard them. So keep in mind when you put that autoresponder series up, how it's going to look to the person on the other end. The very last one I do, I always ask them if they'd like to meet for 30 minutes to discuss it. I usually do it on a Zoom meeting because it's just easier now and everyone understands what Zoom is. I did use Zoom before it was popular, and it works great. Then we can have that initial face-to-face, and hopefully we can build a relationship onto that. So we're going back to calls to action. Calls to action are very important to have on your web page. There should be something on every single one of your pages that is a call to action, whether it's social media, whether it's a video, whether it's a download, whether it's answering the question. There's a poll, I can do this for you, but every page should have some interaction so that whenever I land on that page, you can start a relationship, because everyone's going to come to your website to look for something different that is their need. But you want to make sure that you start an interaction and start moving them down the sales funnel. Okay, we're at 10 o'clock, so that is a half an hour, which is what I promise on all of these. Next Friday, we're doing email automation, making it work for, not next Friday, I'm sorry, next month. See, I'm used to last year where we did it every week.
Yep.
And we're going to do email automation, making it work for your small business. And I am open to any questions that we may or may not have.
We don't have any yet. I'm not sure we will.
Okay, so I'm going to end the show and I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you can see my lovely face. So I really appreciate those of you who came this morning. I hope that there was some good content for you to go back to your website and look at your website and decide what pages I need to change. And don't think you have to do everything at once. Don't get overwhelmed. Say, okay, these 3 are the most important pages that I have information on. This is what I want to do to make it interactive. And just start. Make a plan, do it once a week, once a month, and make those changes to see what's happening. So I appreciate everyone coming again, and I will see you in a month. Have
Thanks,
a great
everyone.
Friday.
Talk to you later.